Good morning, Cleveland. I'm here with Cleveland's newest superstar. It's not Baker Mayfield. It's the Scottish Hammer. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, buddy. I've got to ask, first of all, where the hell did the name Scottish Hammer came from?
So that name came from my first ever high school coach. He saw me kick the ball and absolutely loved it. And he just looked at me and said, "You're getting called the Scottish Hammer." I was like, "All right, I'm down."
Easy as that. So, I guess you're born in Scotland. Then what happened from there?
So I was, my dad's in the military, and I was actually born in England at first because he was stationed down in Cranwell. Then after that, we moved back and forward from Scotland to England with my dad's job. And I've been playing rugby since I was about 5 years old. And I played up in the Highlands of Scotland for a team called Highland Rugby Club.
Yeah.
And then I went to boarding school on a sports scholarship. And we actually won the national championship as a rugby team, our under 16 years. So I went from there to then when I was 16 years old, I left Merchiston to come out to Southern Maryland to live with my mum and dad, and then that's how the whole football thing got into gear.
This kid's story is incredible. And this is him. Drop kicks that go 70 yards in the air. He's got a ponytail. And guess what? The nickname is the Scottish Hammer.
Okay. So rugby, what position do you play in rugby?
I played fly half. I played fly half and a little bit of scrum half, but I've been playing fly half since I was 8 years old.
Mate, I'm not the biggest rugby guy, but if I'm right, a scrum half is a bit like the quarterback. It kind of controls the flow of the game a little bit.
Definitely fly half, yeah. It's a mix between the fly half and the scrum half because the scrum half is normally in charge of the forwards and the fly half is kind of in charge of the backs and the flow of the game with the offense and the defense.
Okay, cool. And tell us, I've seen the video of you kicking 70, is it 70 yards or 70 meters?
Yeah, 70 yards.
Cool. What's the longest kick you could potentially do?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, off the sticks, I hit 3 70-yard field goals that day back to back. I guess I was feeling pretty good. No wind, but in practice with the team, because I did all three. I field goal, kicked off, and punted for my college team. So we in practice will do pressure situations, and I've knocked over a 62 with the yard field goal with the team.
Cool.
So we'll see.
Mate, I've seen some footage of
And
you.
Dixon, the first down marker's there, fights off 2 tacklers, and gets it. You want more Gillen? This is in coverage.
Boom. Oh, no.
That's a punter. That's him. Wait, look at him right here. Laying out a player.
You're actually taking people out as well, not just kicking and punting. You're actually...
Well, in rugby, you don't have any pads. But in football, you got a legal weapon on your head.
Yeah.
You might as well use it, you know? So sometimes when we kicked off the ball, they made it through a couple of times. So it's almost like being a fullback in rugby, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just hovering behind, checking the gaps. And if I see someone come screaming through, I'm just going to meet them halfway and put my helmet where it hurts, you know? So it's always fun doing that. But you know, I'm a team player, so just because I'm a punter or a kicker doesn't mean I can't run downfield with the kickoff team.
Yeah, okay, cool. And how has been that transition of different styles? Obviously, when you drop kick a rugby ball and a punt American football, how has that been different?
Well, just the overall shape of the football. You know, the football's a lot more pointier. And the rugby ball is way more round, so the surface area where you drop it on is a lot more round on the rugby ball, so it pops up a lot easier. Whereas with a football, with a drop kick, because it's so pointy, it jabs a lot more from side to side. But it's just another cool little weapon to have in kickoff. You know, you can on drop kicks. On my rugby team, I used to be the start-off guy, and I would drop kick it really high, so we'd get underneath it and recover the ball. And I feel like that's just another part you could add to the American football side, you know, because in kickoff, if you kick off the block, there's only so high you can get it, but I can really scoop a drop kick high, you know, and put it where you want it. So it's just another aspect that we, you know, maybe in the future you might see added to the game of football.
Yeah. This is a Cleveland Browns podcast, so I've got to ask, how do you actually get from doing some trials to actually the Browns? How did that all work?
So, about 2.5 months ago, no one actually knew the Scottish Hammer existed. And I got linked up with my agent, who's he is the best thing that happened to me through this process. And I went to a combine, and a kicking combine called Gary's Honors Kicking Combine, and it has great exposure. Went there, and I actually ended up winning the whole competition for punting. Then after that, my phone started ringing a lot more, and then Mr. Prefer called me and wanted to set up a private workout. So he came to all the way from Cleveland to Pine Bluff, the Mr. Prefer, to go out for food. So I took him to an Irish pub, which was
Good
nice.
man.
We had some shepherd's pie and just, talked for a couple hours. Really, really hit it off from the beginning with Mr. Prefer. A really great guy. And he was military himself. So he actually worked in the same area as my dad works right now. So we already had a lot in common. And then the next day, he watched me punt, and we had a really fun day. I wasn't nervous. I know a lot of people get nervous for that sort of stuff, but I was just excited and focused because, I work really hard, and it's no different to kicking in front of my other coach. So we had a really good time, and then they invited me on an official visit an hour later. So that was really fun.
Cool. Did he like was it a shepherd's pie or cottage pie?
Shepherd's pie.
Yeah, shepherd's pie. Did he like it or not?
Oh, he loved it. He was a big fan.
I'm not sure if our American listeners know what it is. I'm sorry if I sound patronising. So it's basically mincemeat. Is it peas, carrots in it, or just mincemeat?
You can add some chopped up carrots and peas in it.
And then mashed potato on top, and then it goes in the oven. It comes out all golden brown. Yeah, it's really, really nice.
Oh, it's big time.
Do you eat any haggis? Are you a big haggis fan?
Oh yeah. Big time haggis guy, especially back home in north of Scotland. Black pudding, like we don't have black pudding out here, so actually whenever I go back home, I always get a fried egg and black pudding sandwich. So I miss the haggis and the black pudding.
Yeah, cool. If you go to the markets in Cleveland, there's an Irish butcher, and they've got things like Cornish pasties, Irish food, and they've got black pudding and hog's pudding there as well. So. Mate, when I'm coming out in May, I'll take you there, and I can educate you on the where to get the good British food.
Oh, I can't wait. I haven't had haggis in so long, so I'm really excited for that.
Awesome. And you a big soccer fan?
A little bit, yeah, just because my granddad, I've been playing soccer since I was a kid as well, because of my granddad, and he's a hardcore Celtic fan, so he's always made me watch it and stuff. But just me being a big rugby player and stuff, I normally just paid attention to rugby.
And what was your soccer position?
I normally played striker.
Okay.
I actually played soccer out here for a little bit too, so just to stay fit for rugby. And then that was how I transitioned into the kicking American football. Okay,
great. And what's next for you next? When are you at Bria?
So I'll be at Bria on Thursday for a rookie mini camp. So I'll be with all the guys that got drafted or who got signed as a free agent or who got a rookie mini camp invite. So I'm really excited to go there and be with all the guys and be back in Cleveland. So it's going to be really fun.
Yeah. You may meet Odell Beckham, mate.
That's pretty exciting stuff. It's going to be
cool.
Crazy meeting all them guys. So it'll be cool.
Yeah, good. And in an ideal world, what would be like your favorite jersey number?
I'd love to keep 42, just because that's what I wore in college. But there's actually rules and regulations as to what punters and kickers can wear. So I can only get 1 through 11, I think. So I would love to get 10, but that's taken. So I chose 7 for camp. Okay, wicked. Good breaking news there. Thanks a lot. And tell us, have you met any Browns fans so far besides myself? Yep, I met a lovely couple on the plane. We were so on my way to the official visit. I sat down and just started chatting to these guys. And while we're on the way, they just gave me the rundown of Browns and a great place and a great city. And they keep in contact with me on Twitter. So they said that when I come out, they want to treat me to a home cooked meal, and they're due to have a baby pretty soon and a gender reveal. So they're going to let me know how that goes. So I'm really excited for them.
Yeah, mate. As a British person that goes out to Cleveland quite a lot, I've got to say, they absolutely love their city, love their the locals, the people, and the interaction you can have with them will be absolutely amazing. So they're very similar. I'm from Cornwall. You're from Scotland, a very Celtic background, and it's very similar. They're open arms, everyone in, and my experience with the Cleveland locals has been absolutely awesome. So you've picked a really, really good city to work for.
Oh, I can't wait. And that's the vibe I got. I got a very homely vibe from the team itself. You know, Mr. Dorsey, the general manager, he's actually from where I live right now. So that was really cool to talk to him because he had a lot of awesome stories and knows a lot of people that I've worked for here. So we chatted up when we were there, and then just from meeting the couple on the plane, it was, and a bunch of other Browns fans too, just talking to me, and I just got a great vibe from everybody. So I can't wait to meet everybody, you know.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Where can people find your details?
On Instagram. I've got an Instagram account. I've got a Twitter. And like I tell anybody from the UK that is a talented soccer player or, you know, a good rugby player and stuff, and if they have any questions about transitioning to come over and play American football at the collegiate level, I'll be more than happy to help them and tell them the process and how to get it done.
Are you going to change your Twitter handle to the the Scottish Hammer?
I tried to do it and it was taken already, so
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
All right, excellent. So just to let everyone know, it's at Jamie_Gillan, which is GILLAN 10. Give him a follow, give him some love, and yeah, fingers crossed you stay very happy in Cleveland.
Well, and I really appreciate that. And also, happy birthday to yourself. So I hope you have a great day. Have a couple of pints.
Mate, thank you, Scottish Hammer, for wishing me a birthday. Yeah, so all right, buddy. Look, when I come out of Cleveland in May, I'll come and see you. And actually, I've got one other challenge for you. When you're in London next?
I'm hoping if I have some time between training camps or something, because I haven't been home in nearly 4 years. So hopefully, if I have a substantial amount of time, I'll come home for a couple of weeks to see all my extended family, my friends.
Yeah, so I've got a challenge for you. Can you kick an American football over Marble Arch in London? And as we say, come on the Browns.
Thank you.